Welcome everybody to the Aegis Rolldown podcast, episode 3. We are graced today with another amazing episode. If you guys have never been here for the podcast, welcome on in. I'm here with my constant co-host, Lorence, who's just kind of here. And then we do have a special guest of the day, but them later. Forget about them for right now. We'll come back to them later. So don't worry about it. Don't look down. Just trust me that there is a special guest down there. But Lorence, tell me, man, who the heck are you? What do you do here? What's all about you?
I'm the TFT director here, if you haven't noticed yet. And I am really bad at fantasy football, but this is a TFT podcast, so I guess I'll try to keep it that way. I try to play TFT. Sometimes I end up getting super busy. I'm a full-time student, but to graduate here with a computer science degree in this coming year. Big hype. It's been a long time coming. Big pog. Can't wait for that to happen so I can actually get like a nice day job. That'd be kind of fun. Might be something that I'm looking forward to just a little bit. But other than that, I just run these here tournaments on the off time, and it's been a lot of fun. Love it.
For sure. I, like everybody else, fell asleep to that one. But now on to the special guest. The hype moment of the podcast. The hype moment. We got CLE down here. CLE, for all the people out there who didn't just watch your cast. Who are you? What do you do? What's you?
My name's CLE, and the CLE does stand for Cleveland, so that's why I have my Myles Garrett jersey on. I am a little sad. It's fine. I am a TFT caster, former challenger, because I'm not challenger right now, but it's fine. So just a student of the game, love talking about it, and so recently got into casting and doing some stuff for Aegis, and really have enjoyed it, and was casting today for the ACL, and they made me stick around, so here we are.
Absolutely.
Long day.
Yeah, I mean, similar to me, we just kind of forced him into this, no questions asked. It's like, it's happening, you better get used to it. So yeah, not locked in the basement though. I'm the only one still here. But last but not least, I am the real honey bear. I am the TFT intern. Probably still am I still an intern, Lorence?
You're like 1 week away from the upgrade. We'll give it another.
He's been telling me that for the past 2 months.
Yeah, ask me again next week. Okay?
I've been 1 week away for months now for my promotion. I work here on TFT stuff. I do a lot of behind the scenes with Lorence. Dabble in anything that our container bot asks me to do. If you guys have never seen our container bot, it's actually pretty high tech. That we can get
almost human.
Such an experienced bot in everything we do. So big shout out to whoever programmed that one. Dabble in some TFT myself. Been high masters, never stepped foot into the GM category. Been like 60 LP away from hitting the GM. But now I'm just hard stuck diamond. Kind of dancing around in the slums down there.
Welcome down.
just crushed me down. That's enough about me. If you guys have never seen this podcast before, basically this is a TFT podcast. We talk about all things Aegis. We talk about TFT. We talk about us just a little bit because you guys don't get a lot of the behind the scenes for us. So we'll dabble into that a little bit. If you guys do have any questions about TFT, about Aegis, about literally anything that you want to ask us, drop them into chat. If you didn't know, if you're watching this on YouTube later, we do stream these live on Twitch. So if you're in the Twitch chat right now, feel free to drop any question. We'll be grabbing them throughout the podcast as we go, and we'll answer some of them at the end. So make them good. We've had some bangers. And yeah, ask anything. And if we want to answer it, we'll snag it and answer it. But yep, we'll talk about all things TFT. If you guys want kind of the rundown of what we're gonna do, it's gonna be right next to CLE over there. We got the intro, the meta, the weekly, the AML, ACL, some extremely made up, extremely important awards question and answers, and then just dipping on out. But the first part of it, Lorence, man, how was your week? What were you up to this week? What were you doing, man?
I was actually AFK for quite a bit of it. I had a going away for a friend I've known here for a while, so I actually wasn't playing too much. I was just doing a lot of homework on that, starting to put you guys to sleep again. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I didn't really get to play too much. Now that everybody knows about the Dark Flight tech, it's kind of hard to run it. Maybe it's not in as many lobbies, and the soy fen is a little hard to play into with that. So I'm taking a little bit of a break. I think I played like maybe 5 games in the past week, but hopefully in this coming week I'll have a little more time. Probably be able to play a couple more games.
Yeah, Soyfin is out there. Nice. What about you, CLE? Anything exciting happening this week? Anything going on?
I mean, it's fall, and fall's fantastic. So that's a
you're
great.
A Fall Guy?
Oh yeah, I love Fall Guys.
The Fall Guy podcast.
The Fall Guy podcast out here.
The Aegis Fall Down.
Wait, the Aegis Fall Down?
I'm here for it. Anyway, the leaves are really pretty outside. That's always a plus. The Browns still suck. That's always there.
It's always going to be a thing.
It is. The Lions and the Browns have this special bond. It's okay. You know, the 0-16 bond goes strong. Other than that, though, I made a return to TFT this week. I had taken nearly a month off after hitting Masters and just wanted to take a break. Was playing some League of Legends, made a return this week to prepare for this weekend's cast of trying to learn the meta again, and had some success for the first time in a while. So that was kind of fun. You know, climbed from 0 LP Masters up to 100 and then back down to 10 and then up to like 60, and you know how it works. So it was a good week overall.
Yeah, feels good. Personally, got back on the hyper roll grind. Been enjoying that. I have not touched solo queue in weeks. It's too scary over there. No, I'm really enjoying the hyper roll grind. Enjoying that. I'm trying to start binging a crap ton of anime. So that's been trying to take up a lot of my time. What was that?
It's the time for it right now.
It really is. Spy Family. Started watching that. Really good. Pretty big fan.
Start watching it like first season?
No,
first
second season.
Okay.
Diving into second season. Yeah, pretty big fan of that.
Did you see the spoiler? Would have you been upset if you saw the actual intro?
I did not see the spoiler.
Okay.
So
are you happy that I skipped it for you?
Yes.
Yeah, I would have been a little triggered. Or I was.
Yeah, so I did not see the spoiler. But yeah, so if anybody hasn't watched it, like we said in the last podcast, there is a spoiler in the intro, so don't watch the intro for the first episode. But yeah, diving into just a ton of anime, and that's been pretty enjoyable. But other than that, not really doing too much. A lot of TFT action has been this week. Watching, not as much playing, a lot of watching this week, which we'll get into some of our favorite streams pulling forward. But speaking of our favorite streams, we'll slide on into a little bit more of the meta and TFT news.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What do you got to start for it?
With the meta, we have the meta is a ridiculous amount of dragons at the current moment. Don't know if anybody knew that, but a ridiculous amount of dragons. So we've decided we were going to write down our favorite dragons, not favorite, top dragons. We made a dragon tier list, if you will.
So, power rankings.
I'm so ready for this.
Power rankings. I'm ready to argue this to the grave.
And
mine's best, so.
So the transition is going to be a little interesting here, because when I transition, it's just going to do like a whoop, little flip for us. So I kind of like that.
Keep on your toes.
Yeah, so we ranked our dragons. I believe there's 12 of them. Is that correct?
13?
1, 2,
13 or
4? There's a number of them.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dragons.
12 dragons.
12 dragons. Holy cow. I had to really count through those. So we all ranked our 12 dragons from 12 to 1. and we're gonna let you guys know the list right here. Do you guys want to start at 12 and work our way down, and we can kind of talk about what our 12 is, and move our way up the list, if you will?
It works for me.
Always start from the bottom. Work your way up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Does anybody have a dragon that they really want to start with? I do think I have a common dragon with some of you.
I would imagine.
Yeah, we'll just like kind of like bring it up and then talk about it. So like I'll start it, I guess. So I'll just be like, all right. So my 12. Spoiler alert. I think Honeybear probably already gonna guess this. Is Siphon. That unit is toxic. I think that the dash is super cool, and it. So I actually again I put these into tiers just so I could kind of like shape it up a little bit. It gets saved from being an F tier because the dash is actually pretty cool, but the chomp is so toxic. It's like, oh, did it hit my carry? Looks like I lost. If it doesn't hit it, if it just like dashes back into my tanks, it's like, nice, I can probably kill this thing. And it just feels like a terrible setup. I think it's like a D tier. So that'd be my 12.
Absolutely. I actually also have Siphon as 12. I hate that it can high roll or low roll your game. I hate that you never know like what you're gonna get. It just flies in there. You're like, maybe it's gonna hit, maybe it's not gonna hit, and then if you're on the other side, you're like, is my carry gonna get one shot or is it not? And nobody has any idea. I am not a fan of the randomness of that unit. Yeah, it's also my number 12. So
I have a different 12.
Ooh,
I do.
Ooh.
I do. My 12th dragon, and this is not out of spite or out of bad experience. But my 12th dragon is Swain. Hear me out.
What?
Yikes!
Hear me out. Swain's just like... I talked about this a little bit on cast. Swain's just not it, because Darkflight was kind of ruined by the Aphelios, by the Better Together. It was ruined. So that ruined it. Like the trade alone ruined it. And then just Drain Tank in this set isn't very good because he doesn't have any CC. So that's why he falls in number 12. The trait's not it, and Drain Tank just not it.
Yikes.
Sorry.
Well,
might be hot take.
Give me a moment here. I'm gonna move on to number 11. Not to take away, some of your thunder here. But my number 11, contrary to popular belief, is Swain! For the exact same reasons.
What?
Forget that unit. It's not. I don't enjoy playing it. There's so many other things out there. This is just personal preference by me. I don't enjoy playing it.
This place is the worst.
It just goes out there.
You guys are gonna be very surprised by my tier list then.
I suck at Swain.
You're gonna.
Like, I'm bad at Swain. I just slap that unit out there. I hope for the best. It's like the my Swain versus the other person's Swain, my Yasuo versus their Yasuo. They do so much more damage than mine does. Mine sucks every time I put it on the board. Not a Swain fan. Get them out of here.
I bet Scipius would agree with you. Scipius would agree with you from that last game. This wasn't it.
Yeah, Swain's not the play. Get him out of here. We're not going to you, Lorence.
You're not the play.
We're going back to CLE. CLE, who's your 11?
This is a duo podcast here. Bye, Lorence. My number 11 is Siphon. So I'm not too far off. Because Siphon is either so smart or so dumb. So
exactly.
Down with the Siphon.
Whisper and Bruiser, like him with Silas, is kind of sweet. So that's why he's not last. That's it, though.
Yeah, I think he actually does. Like I was saying, he does have some like saving graces, but it's still just like this is a dog tier champion.
As Honeybear pets his dog. Was that a pun? Did you do that on purpose?
Oh, I wasn't even looking. That's funny.
Yeah, my dog came in. Yeah, Jensen's here, so I snacked him real fast. My wife brought me some tea so that my voice doesn't just absolutely die.
Nice. Is it in a mug?
Yes, it is.
The Aegis mug down.
Did we decide if this was a mug or not?
It
is definitively not a mug, according to chat.
If anybody, I know I raised it up there quickly, but if anybody knew what that was, let me know.
GMM. Okay.
So Lorence. For mine, This is probably the start of the controversy. So maybe you guys agree on Swain, but I don't think any of you are going to agree with this one. My 11 in C tier, at the bottom of C tier, is Zippy.
No! No! What are you doing?
His dash,
You're inting!
like the highest HP unit, is so weird. Like, why is it the highest HP unit?
We need another cast. Somebody else bring him on. You're inting away this whole podcast.
No.
What is happening? What is this?
Oh my gosh.
It feels like it's so random. It's like, how do we make this thing different from all the other dragons? What if we made it jump to the highest HP unit? Ship it. Perfect. So cool.
My heart's broken.
How dare you? How dare you?
I hope you redeem yourself.
The redeeming thing that keeps it out of D tier for me is that its auto attack animation is hilarious.
Wait, this is almost D tier?
Oh yeah. He takes a sip. He doesn't know what to say.
I got nothing. I'm lost. I mean, I'm on to my third coffee mug out here. We got mug, and now I'm on to the third one, which is tea this time. Because it's 7 o'clock here. I can't be down in coffee at 7 o'clock.
Good.
But
You look a lot like Zippy then. Jumping all over the place. And you'd also be a C tier dragon.
All right, are we on 10? Can we move on?
We are on 10.
Can we move on?
Those are the more controversial ones, and so we're starting to get in the middle here. And
all right, who wants to start? Lorence, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot again. Do you want to go 10? I don't know what your 10 is going to be, so.
Okay, sure. Let's do it back to back. Get both feet, am I right? So Shio Yu actually is my other C tier, and it's 10th.
Okay. You know what? I mean, all right.
My reasoning on that is this is a little bit of bias. I play a lot of melee carries. That is so annoying. That if the targeting, like the double auto attack, the double knockup is on your carry somehow, it's like kind of like almost the same thing as Siphon, except instead of it just like one-shotting it, it's just CCing it forever. Or it's like knock up and then does true damage and then knocks it up again, and you're like, I'm playing the game, everyone. Just kidding, you're not. It feels like almost RNG. Also, it has like random CC immunity. Like you're like, oh, did I catch it during CC immunity? Probably can kill it. Oh, or not during CC immunity, I can kill it. And if otherwise, you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just not gonna be able to do anything to it because it's healing up with whatever healing it has. And that's my thought process on it.
That's fair.
That's fair. I get it.
Yeah, CLE, what do you got?
My number 10, and this is the first 8-cost dragon of our list, is Terra.
No,
now,
okay.
I love the idea of Terra.
Okay.
But this is a dragon, and it doesn't really. There's not enough. This is all I'm gonna say. There's not enough visual effects on Terra to make it exciting at all. Okay. It's got like that random damage reduction. It does that weird AoE stomp, but you can't really see it. So like it's just so unsatisfying and has no synergies other than dragon. So it's just kind of there.
Have you seen a Terra 3?
Not a big fan. I have seen Terra 3. I actually got beat by Terra 3 one time. I was not happy.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think about the monolith part?
It's fine.
All right.
I guess
that's it.
Just kind of nothing
inspiring.
It's fine. Yeah.
Nothing inspiring. Makes sense.
No.
All right. My 10,
it's nothing.
which I'm actually shocked. I thought this was going to be low on your guys' list as well. My number 10 is Sam. And it's not that I don't like Sam. Like, if I didn't like Sam, it'd be, 11, 12. It's that I kind of like nothing Sam. It's like, I don't know. The third auto attack or the third attack animation type deal, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think there's anything that is cool about Sam. Sam feels like a discount Deja. So
I can see that.
It's kind of, Deja's been around. I like Deja, so Deja's higher on my list. Sam's kind of the quote unquote other AP carry, kind of a discount Deja, and Deja can be slapped into a lot of different comps. Sam's only got one. You can only play it laterally. You can't play it anywhere else. So
and you kind of like need blue buff or like blue battery.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Sam's pretty low on my list.
And I'll piggyback right off that because Sam's number 9 on my list.
Whoop.
So
hey,
yeah,
right there then.
just really, yeah. Some just doesn't really go like have that big cast like the other AP dragons do. Even Namzi does like a cooler cast and does more stuff. And Lagoon, as you said, is just vertical Lagoon's just not really it. So, you know, that doesn't help either. Lorence, what's 9 on your list?
9 for me. This might come in as a surprise, but number
Everything
9
is
for
coming as a
me
surprise.
is my first legendary. It's Aurelion Sol. I think that like it's a legendary dragon, and it having technically pseudo random targeting is just like it just feels so bad to me. I love that. Like this is going up into my low B tier right now, by the way. So like I think a lot of dragons are actually like good, by the way. So like once we start getting up here, they're all pretty close. But I think Asol is like near the bottom of it because you just have to spend so much on it. And it's just like technically you can just miss. You just miss. I like that it gets like bigger after like the ramp up, but which is like perfect synergy with a couple items, but it just like it just feels so, like I hate that it can miss. Anything that can miss is always going to be annoying to me.
So you actually got me to change my list a little bit there. I was thinking about it, listening to you guys, and I'm like, I'm switching things around. Doesn't change my 9 pick though.
Oh, yeah?
So my 9 pick is also a legendary. It's Aoshin. I hate that champion. I hate that it can wipe your board. I hate that it's been around forever. It's too good. It's too good. It's like, it's there. All of a sudden, it gets some AP items. You can be just endless losses. And then all of a sudden, you get an Asol 2. Or sorry, an Aoshin 2. And it just crushes your entire board. You can't itemize against it. It kills you. It can't get stuck on a Dragon Claw. It just wipes your whole board. Doesn't matter where your carry's standing. Positioning doesn't matter.
Do you think it should still like remain like a 10 cost?
I think it shouldn't be in the game.
I mean, say if you have to keep it, would you like, okay, I want to make this like a little harder to hit?
I think if you have to keep it, I pray that it has bugs and can't be no, I mean I think it's tough to, there's no skill expression against it, if you will. Like it's you can't position away from it. You can't you almost can't itemize against it. Like again, unless you put a declaw on your carry, but who's gonna do that? But it's just a unit that feels like if it's ahead, it's just going to win the entire match for you. And I don't really like that. It's tough.
Listen, I know opinions are opinions, but your opinion's wrong.
That's fair. Yeah, it is wrong.
Yeah,
that's why I'm the real dummy bear most of the time.
I think CLE is just the best opinion, and yours is wrong.
Well, I mean, if we're going off opinions, why was my mustache not in the
well, we already knew it was going to lose.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, I'll take my 0, but I didn't even get on there.
I also got 0. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure I got 0.
I got you.
We made a poll, and I didn't even get on the poll. Incredible disrespect.
Wait, so Aoshin was your 9?
Aoshin's my 9. We were going to 8? You ready for 8?
It's so low. It's so low.
Wait, did everybody give their 9?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. 8. Aurelion Sol. I actually changed it because I was thinking about it. And the reason I changed Aurelion Sol down is because, when I was listening to Lorence talk about it, it's actually because of how broken it was early. It was so disgusting. And I remember absolutely hating it. And so I dropped it down to 8, which is kind of, a middle of the pack pick. It's actually not a bad dragon. Once we get to 8, that's middle of the road.
Yeah, these 5 through 8 sections are kind of middle of the road for sure. Mm-hmm. So like none of these, they're like, yeah, these are fine.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a dragon, right?
Yeah, it's a good dragon that has been good. I don't hate it. I don't particularly love it. Those things. And so my number 8 for that reason, just lack of excitement, basically, is Itis. Itis is just a big boy who gives Shimmer Scale. Well, Shimmer Scale is great, but that's about it. He's a big boy. Big boy's not that exciting. He is thick.
She's thick.
It?
She.
Do we figure out if they're all she's?
I think they're all she's.
No, they're she. Uh,
Girl dragon.
I think it's hilarious how we're gonna be like. It's almost good that we're not carbon copies of each other with this because all of we're gonna have a lot of what coming up here because I have
All right.
Itis in a little bit of a different spot. Spoiler alert.
Well, who's your 8?
My 8 is actually Soam. This is still in mid B tier. I think it almost feels like what Aurelion Sol should have been a little closer to, almost, where it has like a lot of hits, like it can hit a lot of things, and it has multiple AoE hits that end up going off.
Mhm.
Like imagine if Aurelion Sol had that kind of like triple like boom. That would make that would push ASOL up to like nearly an S tier or at least the top of A tier.
I see that, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually how they designed the champ. Was like this was a second idea for Aurelion Sol.
Like imagine like them going off like sequential like boom boom, boom like kind of like stepping stones almost of it. Like that would have been sick. That would have been so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall our Soams were kind of in a similar spot. I think mine was a little lower, but I think we all agree it wasn't like the best design of a champion, if you will. I think
Cool
this
artwork.
is. Go ahead.
Cool artwork though. They
Oh, yeah,
original artwork
cool.
dragon.
Yep.
That was so cool. That was so cool. I love that they did that.
So, I think this might be. Man, let me go back to my list. This might be my most controversial one. I'll say actually let me save. I'll say 7. I'll save 7 to last. Go ahead, Lorence. Who do you got at 7?
My 7 is actually Namzi.
Namzi.
Yep.
That was the fan voted by me solely best pet.
Nope, I disagree. So I think so I'll be upfront with why it's still here in B tier and in this low. Is I think that the swapping of traits kind of messes with things, particularly it having Cannoneer. I think Cannoneer just doesn't fit. Like that keeps it out of A tier, and I think it keeps it below my next like 1 or 2. But the actual idea is like pretty cool. Like I want to put this into A tier for myself, but I just can't because of that Cannoneer part. But like that explosion like feels like really satisfying. Like it just hits and like overflows, especially when it has mage. Like it's just a cool unit, but it's still down there in the middle tier here.
I mean, 7's not bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 7. Like
It's around
this is the
Like
part
repeat.
where it's like, yeah, like this is the average dragon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it has some problems, but
in the words of Mortdog, this dragon is what they balance around. And so what better spot than pretty much in the middle?
true.
So I have Deja at 7.
Mm.
Deja's fun. I enjoy Mirage. I enjoy the variants. It's super fun. But just please go away. Like Deja has never not been in meta. It's just
Interesting.
yeah, it's because they balance around it. I get it. Deja's fine. Like cool tidal wave, fast attacking, like a unique dragon for the set, but just won't go away. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the wise words of CLE, you're wrong. Because in the 7th Splot? In the 7th Splot,
This is your
we got
Splot.
Soy. Soy's in the 7th spot. I like Soy. This is kind of where I'm at. It's like, it's a cool unit. But just having this is really the only melee range dragon, and so I kind of wish that I liked it more. But since it was bugged for a while with the what was it, the 3rd cast, was bugged. That did put a sour spot in me. I didn't really enjoy that because it was tough to play. Comes out of meta so often, and it's hard, especially now that you can't really run Vertical Jade. I did enjoy Vertical Jade, but now that Vertical Jade's gone, it dropped a little bit down my list. Oh.
Yeah, and I think that's valid. And just to move it along here, I have Shioyu at 6.
Oh, perfect.
And so,
look at that.
yeah, I mean, I think he's big and he heals a lot, and he's a mystic, which is fun that there's a dragon that's a mystic. And he also just reminds me too much of Shrek, so that's why he's not higher.
It's fair.
So that's it.
Yeah, my 6 is Terra. Yeah, I think that's just like kind of perfect middle of the pack. Tanks are not flashy, and so that's just slot a tank kind of right in the middle of like, yeah, I like Terra. I like the mechanic. I think it's kind of cool. But but since it's not really a flashy dragon, it's just kind of there, and I've never hit Terra 3. It falls pretty much smack dab in the middle of my board at 6.
Yeah, I can see that, but we're still gonna go and see what my take is on it. But my number 6 actually is Ao Shin. I think this is up in my A tier. So I think again, like these are like I like these dragons. You just got to put them somewhere as a number. I think Ao Shin. So it feels like really satisfying to hit, but it's like the quintessential like end board for AP. Like if you're going AP, like, oh, I'm just like shooting for a 2-star Ao Shin. I'm just gonna like toss all my items on him and win. Probably. And so it feels kind of weird that it's like that, but I think having something like that in the game is actually good, in my opinion. Having that like end board cap, like I'm shooting for this and I'm gonna transfer into it. But the thing that keeps that out of S tier for me is that the targeting can be a little weird. like
Yes.
oh, it only hit one thing. Like it's an 8-cost legendary dragon. Like, why isn't it like targeting? Although it looks really cool, like that when it casts is insane. And 3-star, I know we're not balancing around that, but like the 3-star shot is so cool. But it just like that targeting kind of keeps it out of S tier for me.
Yeah, man, I hate when Ao Shin gets in there and doesn't one-shot the other board. Like,
Yeah.
what a champion if it doesn't just one-shot everybody.
Mm-hmm. Truge.
Yeah, great champion. Moving on. My number 5, very similar here. Kind of exactly what I said before. Idis. It's a tank. I like Idis more than Terra. I've played Idis a lot. I enjoy Idis. Ran Idis every single game last set when I would just run Corky Idis. Everybody ran it, and I enjoyed it. I like Idis. I think the mechanic's kind of cool, and he would be my top tier tank. And so he goes in the top tier tank slot, which for me is number 5.
Makes sense.
And I think the highest out of anybody, I have Aurelian Soul at 5, right?
I mean, I can see arguments as to why it's good. I just am biased.
Yeah.
No, I don't see arguments why it's good.
No,
CLE,
listen.
prove me wrong.
Listen, ascending. So just like Ao Shin does that massive cats and wipes the whole board, Aurelian Soul also has that with his ascended boom, and just when you hit that state and it's there's 3 units crashing at you and it's just the Aurelian Soul alive and the big boom happens and you end up winning the round, kind of lit, and I enjoy those hype moments. The bad parts of Aurelian Soul when they're doing the astral toggling and stuff like that was not very fun, and that's probably why it's lower. But I really enjoyed Aurelian Soul, and I still enjoy astrals. It's fun.
I like astrals too. Maybe I should change it up. It's too late now though.
Yeah. Moving on, top 4.
Yeah. I didn't do mine.
Oh, you did your 5th. Go ahead.
Yeah. My 5th would be Deja. I'm a little biased. I like AP boards, so having that, I've just played it a lot. I like the armor, like the MR shred. I think the MR shred, like the multi-hit, is like a really cool, visually well made thing. And like it actually lets you shred through that like frontline tank. Like it has a lot of just different moving parts that aren't too complicated. It all like makes sense. And then like the big like whoosh of the actual ult is it feels pretty satisfying, especially when it has like certain traits where it has like the spell sword, or you have like seraphs, I believe, archangels, excuse me. Big player over here.
Yeah.
I think it's just a nice unit. It's up there.
Yeah. I can't argue. Sliding into our top 4, I would consider these the premium dragons, right? We would all consider these are the winning dragons, which I like. Should Honeybear have been on the mustache poll? Thank you for the one person who voted yes. Thank you.
Was it you?
I appreciate you.
Was
No,
it
it was not. I actually didn't know that was a poll going.
On the back. He's like, thanks.
Yeah, whoever that was, if you're in the chat, please, thank you. Anyways, yeah, these are the premium dragon top 4. The premium dragon. I'll go first with this one because I don't think anybody said it yet. I'm actually pretty confident, and so this is on everybody's top 4 list somewhere. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but my number 4 is Shyvana. I really like Shyvana. Everybody in the top 4 I really like. It does come down to kind of personal preference for me in the top 4. I think you can kind of fluctuate them, up and down. I think they're all kind of in the same tier for me. And Shyvana has just been a really enjoyable, carry, tank, kind of everything going around there. So she encompasses the dragon ideal. I think it is the best dragon design in the entire game. And so it's just pretty cool watching her do her thing. And you can build in a lot of different ways, and that's always been fun for me while playing TFT.
I can see that. My number 4 actually was a little different here. I had Itis. This is going into my S tier. I love Itis. It just like to preface this, and spoiler alert, Terra is also in this S tier. I am a main tank player in a lot of games I play, and especially League of Legends. So like seeing these with like satisfying ults is like, I love this. I like being able to slap that into my comp and just be like, this is my front line. Bam. And it just feels satisfying. And to push it into S tier and above a couple other dragons, it gives you free shimmer scale. And I love the shimmer scale idea where you can kind of like pop things off. Like just, I know that's the trait, so it's a little different, but it's tied to Itis. So like that's kind of part of it, you know? So that bumps it from like an A to an S and top 4.
I mean, Itis was 5th for me, so I pretty much agree with your sentiment. It was just behind.
Yeah, and I get that. Like, I guess it's just personal preference. It's like you guys clearly value tanks higher than I do.
That we
It's
do.
fine.
How it goes.
I get it.
What do you got?
Number
for us?
4 for me is the biggest coming of age story, the glow up of the century, Namzi.
Namzi!
So yeah. I love that Namzi's just
Yes.
Even by himself, like Namzi's just a little bit different than everybody because they've got 3 traits that they cycle through. It's a little confusing, but it also makes it like it makes each game still feel different with dragons specifically. So it makes it even less stale in that way. So that's why Namzi gets number 4 for me. The glow up and just how different it is every game.
Yeah,
number 3.
I agree.
Namzi is my number 3. I fully agree. I didn't go anywhere on that list for me. I also put in number 3. I love the bring up story. As Keen said in the chat, yes, I was a dirty Corki player. Loved every second of it. And you know who went really well with Corki? It was Namzi. So I played a ton of Namzi, growing my Namzi up. And look at her now. She's all grown up. And she's in set 7-5, dominating. And I love it. I just love the design. I actually don't play Namzi at all right now. Not at all. But I love Namzi. I just enjoy the dragon.
You're talking it up and you're like, I just don't even touch it.
I've never, I think I've played it like twice this set. Like, I just don't play it. Freaking love Namzi. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, my number 3 actually is a little bit of a departure. It's Wayne. Again, like a little bit of this is always biased where I'm it's like the traits I like playing is kind of play into this, but like it's so satisfying seeing him drain tank back from like an HP and go all the way up to like 2/3 HP again, and he's so freaking tanky. And there's something satisfying about being able to slap Morellos on them and hit everything. It's like the best Morellos user in the game, and it just feels satisfying to like they're all burning. Like like seeing that on my board, and then when it's alive with the essence, and it's just like you can't kill me, and then it's like slowly whittling them down. Like I'm a huge fan of attrition comps, and this is like that's like the peak for me. So that's why it gets number 3 for me.
That's fair. We disagreed, but yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, disagree. Maybe I just haven't got it to work. Maybe that's it. I mean, you're 3rd, my 12th. It's fine.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you're never coming back on the podcast.
It's fine.
Just kidding.
The last day you guys have ever seen CLE, they're done. Sorry. Like, hey, it was a solid run, though.
Yeah, solid run.
2 casts, 1 podcast. That's all I need.
That's it.
My number 3 is the people's champ themselves, Zippy. I love how dumb Zippy is. It just goes in like
I love how much he sucks.
Yeah, well, he's just kind of dumb. He just kind of just rams his head into champions, gains a big shield, and then hits them, and then doesn't end up killing them, and then goes to another target, which may be something that would make you put it lower on the tier list. But he's been popping off recently when you put some AD on him, and I just love that he's just finding an identity, and it's so fun. I love Zippy.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Do we not have for this? So we have 2 and 1. Do we want to go number 1 and 2 at the same time here?
Let's do both. Yeah.
Do both at the same time. Does anybody want to go first?
Yep.
Their top 2. Lorence, you want to go top 2?
Yep. All right. Let's hit it. So I mean, you already all know what's left, so it's not quite as much. But to put them in order, again, these are the top of S tier. Like these are basically almost in their own. Because I love these ones too much, and I almost should have made it another tier, like God tier. Is Terra. I think that this unit does like everything I want it to. It reminds me, like, I'm a big tank player. I love playing Ornn in League of Legends. Does damage. It has like it's ungodfully tanky. Sometimes you get to, like the end of the board. Yeah, the assassin mage bard. You know, like all of that.
Yeah.
It just like when it's left on the board too, and it gets to overtime, and it does like the stomp and just kills everything. It can be pretty funny. Just like seeing it like shred through everything. So that's why that one gets the second place for me. Not quite as up there because the number 1 just is the coolest dragon almost by far. Shyvana, like the jump looks cool. Like it's just a like huge, like satisfying, just boom, and it knocks everything up and immediately just starts breathing fire on everything. It like the breath looks cool, the jump looks cool, the HP getting huge is awesome when you have like 4 shapeshifter in because it's already got a huge pool. Like what's not to love? It's got inherent healing even, and then the mana bar is red. So like I don't know, it's got a lot going for it. Those are my top 2.
You got a lot going for you.
Thanks.
How cute.
Well, I'll go next, and we'll leave CLE. You can bring us home with it. So my top 2, I'm just gonna slam them out here. 2, Deja, and my number 1 is Zippy. Absolutely. Zippy is the greatest dragon. Zippy is the best. They're a derp. The like tongue licking the eye. Like
Incorrect.
Who doesn't want Zippy to be like their best friend? Absolutely love Zippy's design. I will play Zippy any chance that I can get. I know it's not the best dragon in meta, but I freaking love playing Zippy. I love the animation. I love the yell when they jump across. I love the auto attacks. I love that I can slap an IE on her and she can one-shot the back line. I can go tank. I can play whatever I want. I'm running Zippy. That's why I'm not climbing. That's why I'm playing Hyper Roll. Because I can still win in Hyper Roll with my Zippy carry. And I love it. Shout out to Deja as my number 2. Deja's an awesome dragon, but Zippy's number 1. Sorry, Deja. You get the backseat. I know. Still second best.
We're gonna talk about the weeklies here shortly, and I'm just gonna tell about my traumatic experience then with Zippy. Anyway, my top 2 are at number 2 is Shyvana. Shyvana is like just like Lorence said. They fly up. They come down with this giant boom and they breathe fire, and it's like just an actual dragon. And it's just it's too lit. I love like the AP healing, but you can also run tank with shapeshifter. It's just an actual dragon, and that's why it's an elite dragon. But number 1 for me is Aoshin. Now hear me out.
Respect.
This cast.
Excuse me?
This cast.
Excuse. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah, keep going.
This cast is just so satisfying. It's like by far the best ult in the game right now. Not even close. It's so hype. I mean, you hear me when I'm casting. Like, there's nothing I get more hype for than an Aoshin casting. And it's just like what all dragons desire to be. We kind of mentioned this earlier. It was like, this is what you want in your late game board. This Aoshin, this massive cast, this wiping the board with tons of AP. It's just what the dragons want to be, you know? That's why I have it at number 1.
It feels like a powerful dragon.
I am disgusted. But
Whose tier list is the best? Whose tier list is the best?
I think overall,
that's the next poll.
Okay, I think overall, if we pull everything together, I think we can unanimously agree based on all of ours, even though it wasn't number 1 for us. Shyvana is actually the best dragon by our tier list, if you will. So we'll give it to Shyvana. All of our top 4s. Shyvana can go probably anywhere in the top 4 for us. Maybe not you guys, but great dragon. Shyvana, number 1 dragon, I think, across the board. Yeah? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Agreed. Double agree.
I think so. Well, slide on into that. We got some great transition, by the way. We got some good stuff coming up here. And also, guys, let us know if you agree with our list. If you disagree, we'll probably have them in the comments. So we'll jot them down there for you guys so you guys can see it in the post game or post podcast, if you will.
Podcast.
Postcast.
But yeah, also, if you're in the live chat, don't forget, send us a message. Whatever message you want to. Question. Send us a question. Whatever questions you want to ask. It can be about TFT, it can be about our list, it can be about us. We'll answer them right at the end, so don't forget to send a question in. But having said that, we'll slide on into the weeklies. If you guys didn't know, we do weeklies in Europe and in North America every single week. What a weeklies are. It's just a big tournament. So we got 64 in Europe, 64-man bracket in Europe, and 128 in North America. We fill them every single week. So if you guys have not been a part of that, jump on in. They're a fun time. If you're a lower tier and you're like, I don't know if I'll perform, this is actually probably one of the only times you might get to play against challenger grandmaster players and actually see if you can compete with them. And that's pretty cool because you don't always get that experience. And then if you're a challenger or elite player, come on in, see if you can win some money, get top 8 and see if you can come away with some cash. So pretty cool things. Again, cash prizes for all of them. We did have CLE was playing in them this week.
Dude, I'm rich.
Guy's rolling in it.
I would like to let you know I did win $2.
Oh,
Guy's
baby.
loaded.
Oh, baby.
You can get a McChicken now.
I'm a pro. I don't know what to tell you.
But let me I'm going to go into the shout out for the top 4 real fast. So from North America, our top 4, and sorry, I'm looking this way. This is where I got the list, is Chewy. My number 1 favorite name to get wrong, ZZ Zo. Waiting for Godo and Runtazorg. Excuse me, rounding out the top 4 there for North America. Sorry if I butchered your names.
You would never.
In EU, top 4, we have TG Shooter. My favorite name to get wrong is ZZ Zhao, second place in both tournaments. Congratulations to you. That's actually pretty cool. Pedic at number 3 and Gay Run at number 4. I probably butchered all your names. If I butchered them all,
So good.
I apologize. But yeah, rounds out the top 4.
Off, am I right?
Anything stand out to you guys? CLE, I'm going to throw it off to you first. Specifically, maybe some of your games.
Well, so I like to give a shout out to Crazy Pete. We started together and made it to the semis together. And what's that?
They're pretty sure they're in chat too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Pete!
Anyway, shout out. That was great. We were going together. I went. Listen, I'm not trying to pat myself on my own back, but my own back, but I'm going to. I went 1-1-1. Then I went 7th, and here's why. I had Zippy 2 with some okay items on it.
So you won, right? That was the winning game?
Right. I was in call with Lorence. And Recombobulator came up.
Oh.
So I said, I have a 2-star 6-cost dragon. This is going to be a 2-star 7-cost dragon. This is a no-brainer, right? Like, I'm going to get this Shioyu. I'm going to get this Siphon. What?
And you had a 4-cost.
Yeah, and I had a Hecarim out there. So I said, let me press Recombobulate. Guess what I got, Honeybear? Guess what I got?
I'm actually scared because when you're saying this, based off your tone, I'm like, no, that's how that works. It goes dragon to dragon, but based off your tone, it does not go dragon to dragon. So I had no idea.
I had fantastic Shioyu Siphon items just to get my top 4 move on.
Would you get like a Neela?
No, I got a Soam.
You got. That's the worst dragon you could... Okay, so it did go dragon to dragon. That is the worst one you could possibly get, though.
It was so bad.
But that's why Soam's so low on my list.
He's got 80 items and it's got a Sunfire. I'm like, literally any of these tank dragons, it could be fine. And it's like, how would you like a Soam? It's like the only one that needs 2 items that are
you can't play. It's unplayable.
I ended up in Scale Scorn.
Listen, well, let's just dive in. What does that teach you? Just overall, if you're looking at it as a whole.
Yeah, how do you move forward?
You go zippy carry. When Lorence gives you a zippy, you run your zippy. How dare you sell it?
I tried my best
I
to help
didn't sell it.
You basically sold it.
I don't control the rig.
You sold out.
Well, so looking back, I still think it was the right choice. I just really low rolled.
Yeah, Loki, that's what a Grandmaster player would say. It was the right choice. You're right.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's the reason. I mean, we can all ask ourselves, like, what would Keynes do?
Yeah, what would Keynes do?
What would Scipius do? Scipius, you in chat. Scipius, what would Scipius do?
Hey, Pete says I did the right thing. He's my buddy. He's my traveling buddy. So it's all right. Pete, did you go 8th that game? I think you gave me $2.
I don't think he couldn't give you any advice.
Thank you for the $2.
Thanks for the $2.
What a friend! Going 8th just for you. Well done, Petey. Lorence, anything you wanna shout out from the weeklies before we shift on?
Yeah, number one thing, ZZ Zhao, getting second. I know you already pointed out the EU. It's got second twice in a row. And they've been showing up for a couple of our tournaments, taking home a solid $35 from that one in NA.
Yeah,
good job. Big shout out there. Also, Mocha made it to finals. Big pog. Hopefully he's in chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Some stellar tournaments again. They're always pretty fun to watch. So yeah, big shout out to anybody who played in those. Yeah, and if you do play in them, and no matter where you end up, let us know. Feel free. Always drop them in the Discord chat. Let them know how you did. Especially a lot of times we don't see if a player specifically improves unless we've been following them for weeks. So if you've jumped in here and say you're a player who's only been a first, second rounder, and you make it to semis, let us know. That's hype. Like,
that's big
please
hog.
Drop in the Discord at one of us and just let us know you had a good accomplishment. We're happy to shout it out on the podcast here, because that's something that's pretty cool, and that's stories we want to tell.
It's something you can definitely drop in that community engagement section, the accomplishments. Yeah, if you kind of make it to semis for the first time and you haven't ever made it there, feel free to drop something like that in there. It's not easy to make it that far.
Yeah, because that is quite awesome to be able to do. Without further ado, let's slide on into the AML and ACL. For those of you who don't know, we just finished the ACL less than an hour ago now, or maybe a little more than an hour ago, somewhere around an hour ago. And then the AML was yesterday. The AML being our master, I guess it's Diamond, all the way up to Grandmaster League. And then the ACL is Grandmaster Plus. That's the uncapped league. But great competition across the both of them. We typically come in here and talk about, who's our standout players, what we see throughout the week, who was hype, and all of that. But instead, we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about who's going to win the entire thing. It's time for our completely week 3 over analyst. Who's going to win, who's going to be the dark horse, and who's the best player that's not going to make it. And we'll kind of go around. I know CLE was not a part of the AML. So CLE, if you want to drop in for it, you're more than welcome to. If you want to talk about some of the players that Lorence and I talk about. But we're gonna dive on in with them and then slide quickly into the ACL. But Lorence, do you have a player who's gonna win the entire thing?
Mm-hmm. So this might surprise you. I don't even believe they're in the top 8 right now. Call me crazy, but I think that is going to be TTV Jojo Karate. They've been scaling up every single week, and they had an amazing week 3.
They are 8th currently.
Okay, they've just made it up.
They squeaked on in there.
But I expect them to make it all the way to finals. That's my big take there. They've just been coming in and showing up. Sometimes I don't believe they played in any of our other tournaments, so sometimes it's kind of weird to figure out how to play these games out. So I think that was them kind of maybe figuring it out, realizing they put in some practice. Maybe they felt motivated, I didn't perform that first week, and now like motivated for week 2, and then they're like, all right, I can really do this, and they come in and have one of the best weeks this week. That's my call for the one I think is going to make it. Did you want me to do the rest, or do you want to like go back and forth on this?
No,
one?
I'm going to slide in. I think my pick kind of sounds, not lame now, but I kind of go with the easy answer. It's got to be Grape. Grape is dominating AML right now. Grape is like winning every single game. I don't really need to even say anything. They're top of the charts. They had a sub last week, and they are just destroying it. Grape looks so good. I don't think we can say enough about Grape. So, yeah, I mean, if you're in Grape's lobby, it feels like you're playing for second.
I don't know who Grape is, but I vote Grape because that's a great name.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Grape TFT.
A grape name. A grape name.
They even have a grape as their icon on Discord.
Fantastic.
What more could you want?
Lorence, Dark Horse, who you got?
My dark horse is actually I Am No Jedi. I believe they're the ninth, the one that's not quite in there.
Yeah, wait. You picked 8 and 9.
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think, and again, this isn't just like none of these players are really like bad or anything, but it's like I think this person's been around for like long enough. I believe in it, seen them steadily improve over the years, over the months. And you know what? They've had extremely consistent performances this set, and I think sometimes that's all you need. And if you can just consistently get like top half, you'll make it all the way to finals, and then it's anybody's game.
Yeah, absolutely. My dark horse is a little bit further down the list. Let's see where they're at. They're right in the middle at 16 right now. I got Scales.
I actually was thinking about picking Scales.
I think Scales is a great player. I think they can really turn it around. They're the player, like, I'm not expecting them to win it, but a couple weeks down the line, like if we're looking at it, I'm like, Scales is the best player in this lobby. Like, Scales is in the final, they're gonna win. I wouldn't be shocked. It's not like a shocking thing. So I think they're a great player, and I think they actually have an opportunity to win the entire thing. Even though they're right now kind of a middle of the pack player. But again, last one for AML before we move on to ACL.
I'll cover that real quick. The rank thing, it's like it's hard to do that sometimes. Kind of like what we were talking about in our tier list is like they're ranked this number, but like, okay, how good actually are they? And you go and look at the scores, like the total points, and it's not that different from 8 to 16. It's like less than a game. It's 7 points, I think, 6 points. Yep. It's like kind of nuts. So
yeah, kind of every point matters.
Logjam there. Could be anybody that makes it into that top 8. But my best player that is not going to make it, this may surprise you. To be honest, once it gets toward the top and I need to like pick somebody like this that's not going to make it, kind of a crapshoot.
Yep.
And that made me think, could happen to anybody, and it could happen to Grape.
Wow.
I think Grape could potentially not make it to finals.
Wow.
It just can happen.
Not Grape.
Not the Grape.
Not the Grape.
I'm attached to Grape
now. Again, Grape, I don't think you're not going to make it. It's going to happen to
Grape,
somebody.
like, this is, I don't know, it feels weird to be like, this is an honor type deal, but you are a great player. Like, the fact that you don't make finals, like, whoever we put on this list,
that would be a shock. I'm literally picking this for shock value.
That you don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of around there. I just put Skylar Weiss down as like the greatest player. I think Skylar Weiss is nuts. And so I think it'd be a shock for them to miss. But they've had a good week. They've had some bad weeks. And it's one of those that I'm like, if they low roll, that would be a bummer. And they might. So that would be my best player to not make it into the top 8.
I can see that.
Yeah. Slide not in, though.
Kind of like a random crapshoot, though, I swear.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but just so everybody knows, AML last week is next week. So make sure you're tuning in. Check out the POVs. People who are streaming, make sure you're in the Discord, checking the stream tab. Drop into some of the chats, say hello, and watch them, because some of these players that you're going to be watching play are going to be in the ACL, or we hope move up to the ACL next set.
Looking at you, Pete.
Which is always hype. Yeah, shout out to Pete. Pete, we'll see you in ACL next set. Yeah, speaking of ACL, moving on in. And CLE, I know you and I just cast, so you'll have a much better idea of
I know
the
these
ACL.
Mm-hmm. Probably play against a couple of them sometimes too. I bet maybe one
sometimes.
or two.
Yeah, which this one was. Today was pretty hot. Today was pretty cool. But give me, who is gonna win the entire thing? Anybody can go first.
CLE has been kind of taking a little bit of a backseat. You can go right ahead.
You got somebody, CLE?
Listen, I saw some risk taking today. I also saw some consistency in that today. I've only seen 1 week, so that has to be taken into account. But Cramsey was impressive to me. So I was very
every game, right?
Yeah, I mean the consistency in top fouring and in playing different things and not just playing the meta things. It's something that will be necessary in the tournament. And yeah, I mean, he did throw that first. Keynes is in chat saying that, but it you need to get those first. But top fours will get you pretty far, and I can see it.
Yeah, rival Keynes out there throwing shade.
If you just keep getting top fours, you can't get eliminated, right?
Facts.
Not
Big
that
facts.
CLE would know anything about that, right?
But can you win it all with top fours?
That's true.
Shots
I mean,
are
again,
fired.
once you get to the finals, they're all good players, and be anybody's game.
All right, hey Lorence, who's gonna win it all?
Who's going to win it all? This might be recency bias, but I think ZZ Zhao can pull it out. They past like couple weeks, they've been crushing it in our weeklies, and like you saw the back-to-back seconds. You can't pull out the first. It just happens. It's a best of two. So maybe it's not the greatest representation of who's the best player, but the fact that they make it that far and get to second, it's pretty good. And then they're also showing up in the ACL. So that's my pick.
For sure. I'm actually shocked. So I'm just going to throw this out there. No one is picking Scipius. Because I'm also not picking Scipius.
So I was about to say, that's so vanilla.
Because I'm also not picking Scipius.
We all know you're great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picking Coach Keynes out here.
No.
Coach Keynes. I think he's been on fire this set. I watching them in the Dragons Cup as well, dominating. I think they're gonna pull it out. I think this set they are really grinding. They know exactly what they're doing. They've had some hiccups, but yeah, Coach Keynes is gonna pull it out. He's pulling out the dub.
Listen, they're self-proclaimed rivals, so now me and Honeybear are rivals because
self-proclaimed rivals.
Yeah. I'm Team Cramsey, you're Team Keynes.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I mean, I think Cramsey got the better of it. Cramsey's sitting there with a GM player. Keynes is over here with the diamond scrub. Sorry, Keynes.
Fine.
No, we'll bring it back to our initial conversation of who's really gonna end up better. The Lions or the Browns this year. That's what really is. No,
probably
back
the
to
Lions,
TFT.
I believe. Oh, whoops. Oh.
Yeah, CLE. Who do you got? Give me your dark horse here. Who do we not really think's gonna win it, but really could make a run for it?
Man. Well, listen, I'm just gonna say it. I am a purple pouring stan.
Let's go.
The roll down I saw today when he got Think Fast.
You guys were nuts in that. I said it in the chat, but you guys were nuts when you did that.
I was freaking out.
Yeah.
That alone, even though I think they went 5th, it's fine. It's fine. That alone gives me hope that he will get some high rolls just like Keynes does, and make it into this playoff.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue. I really want to put Purple Pouring as my dark horse. It's not my dark horse, but I really wanted to. Yeah, it's tough not to put him there. But my dark horse for winning the entire thing, Andrew. How can we miss Andrew out here? The greatest TFT player.
Dale!
I think he bought for it every game today. Doesn't matter. Andrew's making it to the playoffs. He's making the deep run. I still got faith. Did he bot for every single game? I actually think he did. It was a rough day for Andrew.
He got a second. Second game. Yeah, I think the second game he went second.
Oh, beautiful.
After going 8th.
Yeah, I got all the faith. I don't care about this week. Forget it. Doesn't matter. It's behind me. Andrew, he's a fringe playoff contender right now. Playoffs are top 24. He's sitting at 22, and he's making the deep run. Absolutely.
Oof.
Who you got, Lorence? You top that?
So, no, it was I think this is going to be the same thing as CLE for the same reasons. I am a Purple Boring stan. I think that once you just got to keep yourself in the mix, and anything can happen.
Man,
exceptional player. They're showing that they can show up here in this basically a challenger league. Not easy, and you know what? Again, anything can happen, I believe.
I don't want to out Boring, but where is he at right now? He's somewhere low Masters, right?
Oh, maybe they're in the chat. Let us know.
But like just
zero
onto it. That's incredible though, right? Like they are in a challenger league, they're Masters, and still doing phenomenal. So shout out to them.
Don't sell yourself out, Boring. You have 52 LP.
There we go.
And it's always a reminder, like it's not like LP is fake, but it's like you just got to know how to like come in and have like the mental to go through 4 games in a row that you basically can't quit. And that everybody's sweating their butt off. Like it's just a different way to play the game. And LP doesn't always play into that. Yeah, I think it's just a different game.
I do want a quick shout out. Second dark horse, not actually my dark horse. Chandler, thing's phenomenal. Really hope he dominates. So
Agree.
wanted to shout out Chandler there. Yeah, like watching them play. But anybody else we want to shout out before we kind of slide on in to the Aegis Awards? Any players? Yeah. Going once, going twice.
Did we do the who's gonna miss out?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. We
missed the who's gonna miss out?
Yep.
Switch it back. Transition back. Who's the best player that's gonna miss out?
So smooth.
For me, actually, it is almost the exact same thing. Again, I think it's just completely random almost who is going to not make it. And something that would be interesting to me is to see Skip not make it. Sorry, Skip. I'm already on the list. So I can't just like be more on the list.
You picked Skip and Grape?
Yeah.
He's here. He's drama farming. That's what
I'm
doing.
drama farming. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah.
Listen,
there's something wrong with Lorence today.
There's burning and then there's gunpowder.
All right,
I'm gonna drama farm even more. I don't think Keynes is gonna make it to finals.
What?
Ooh.
What?
Yeah. No.
What?
And this is what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Ramsey's gonna knock him out too.
Oh,
that happen. It's gonna happen.
Funny. Imagine he gets to that last best of 3, and it's like goodbye, and he's the one above.
Yeah, it's happening.
That would be insane.
That's some drama farming.
All right, so that's not happening. But I'll tell you who's not going to make the finals. It's Cramsey. No, I'm just kidding. That wasn't mine. It's No, I'm making it. No, actually, I think the best player that's not going to make it, I'm shocked. Nobody actually looked at this and said it. It's Shining Star. Shining Star has been, they've been a middle of the pack player. I don't know if this like set 7-5 is their set, but they've been struggling a little bit. But they are such a dominant player. I really want to see them move up. But right now it's just not. They haven't been putting together the games. So Shining Star for me is that player that just misses out, and they are a phenomenal player. So yeah, Shining Star is mine. Oof. Nice. We need to like relabel this like AML ACL drama.
Drama farm.
Yeah, we need like a transition scene that goes to like, you know, the LCS. Speaking of which, they're not LCS Worlds. They got the fiery take or whatever. We can just be like ACL drama, just drama. Drama. Anyways, did I miss anything else?
I think that's good. We can go right on to the awards.
Are we sure? All right, second time's the best right here. So the awards this week We're gonna go around. It's gonna be, I called it, we'll change the title, the high roll and the low roll of the week. This can be with TFT. We normally keep it around TFT, but this can also be kind of anything you want. High roll, low roll of the week. We can all start with our, do you want to do high roll and low roll for each individual, or you want to start with high rolls?
Let's do
Or start with low rolls?
high roll and a low roll. I kind of want to do both.
Both? All right, Lawrence.
So I'll start with mine then. So my high roll of the week, I'm going to keep both of mine to basically players, but I got to see, it almost kind of counts as me that high rolled because I convinced Mr. Old PH Dan to come in and have some fun this week. I love seeing players be able to come back, even though he was taking the set off from competitive. Glad to see him around. So I high rolled and getting to see somebody I wanted to come back. And then my low roll, for farming. It was fun watching Ramsey lose out to that Kaisa board just barely when he felt like it was in the bag.
Oh my gosh, here we go again. Your high roll, low roll.
That was a low roll.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's true. Here's the thing.
Tragic.
Is we have said Ramsey's name so much, but he's included in my high roll of the week though.
Oh.
Because that game where you literally could have gone 9 on like 4-2 was the biggest high roll I've ever seen. You were so rich, your board was already so strong. I mean, you ended up winning that game as you should. It was the biggest high roll I've ever seen. So you get the high roll of the week for sure. And low roll of the week is pretty obvious. Me recombobulating Zippy 2 into a Psalm 2.
Into a
yeah. So.
That was a moment.
So my high roll was gonna be pretty generic. It was just getting to cast. I haven't casted in a while, so that was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, big props.
But it changed to something more specific, and it was definitely purple pouring rolling down. That was phenomenal. That was a great moment. Absolutely love that. It's so rare that you get to see that. So I absolutely loved getting to watch that, and yeah, it was just a joy for me. Low roll of the week is not TFT related. It's North America at the World Championships. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, cover your ears.
Spoiler alert.
Mute for the next minute.
If you've been living under a rock, North America sucks. So, yeah, if you've been living under a rock, it's rough. All right. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I got Cloud9 merch everywhere. I love the LCS. I will never stop being a fan. Holy cow. What an embarrassing ride in New York.
Game at Worlds this
Just
year.
Depressing. It truly changes my mood every single day I watch it. And I watch all of it. I have not watched the games today. I'll go back. I'll cry myself to sleep, I'm sure. Watching. We got 100 T's today. I'm not even going to read chat because I don't know what happened yet. I get to watch it all myself. But I know what's going to happen. And I'll cry myself to sleep tonight. It'll be great. But yeah, that's my low roll. It's
This isn't a spoiler, but Skippius is saying that he was pleasantly surprised by NA.
Okay. That's
so which is either the standards are too low or
I'll still cry
maybe something good happened today.
That's like the Cleveland Browns got a win on their season. It's like, woo! We
did win our first opener since I've been alive.
You're still 1 in 15. Okay. Anyways, moving on to favorite Twitch streamer of the week. I'm actually gonna. No, does anybody have one before I go?
Let's give it to my boy. The one, the only Dale.
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 For
sure.
sure.
I got. He's just always funny to watch. He's so animated. He knows English, so if you end up going in there and he's speaking Portuguese, say something in English and he'll switch over real quick.
Mm-hmm. Specifically ask about Lorence.
Yeah, if you say anything to do with me, he'll call me the boat vehicle. Ask him what boat vehicle means.
The boat vehicle.
Yeah.
CLE, got favorite stream of the week?
I didn't get to watch a ton of streams this week. I had a busy week. But I do want to shout out somebody that we all know, Raditz, for being able to step out of TFT and play some different games. And it's been fun to watch and follow along and still see people follow him for his funny self. So shout out to Raditz.
That's hype. Yeah. I also enjoy watching Raditz. So yeah, definitely good shout out there. Mine's a little specific. It is specific on the Worlds broadcast stream. So if you're not caught up, specifically yesterday, you might want to cover your ears. But I was there with Lorence for this moment, and it was a phenomenal moment. But it was the GAM Nexus to Nexus race. That was my favorite stream moment that I got to watch. That was incredible. That's a, like, I don't know, maybe once in a year play type deal. Like, you'll almost never see that again. And on the world stage, with the crowd going insane, just converting them all to Gigabyte Marines fans. Yeah, really cool moment. And so, you know, it is one specific moment in the world stream, but that's definitely my favorite. It was awesome to see. So a really fun time there at the World Championship. The shining light to North America's suffering.
Big Pog.
Yeah. Yeah, sad times. But transitioning on, unless we have anything else to say about our awards, moving on to the question and answers. If you guys don't know what this segment is, we're gonna fly through this pretty quickly because I think we're running out of time here. It's been a longer episode, but if you guys had any questions or have questions now, you can drop them into chat, and we'll answer any as we've gone through. But anybody snag any questions? I got one here for us.
I did have one single one, and it was Mocha asking me, Lorence, where Cat? Cat not here. Cat ran away. That's the only answer I guess I have. I didn't see too many questions. It's hard to keep my cat in here when my dog is in here. Dog will run after them. Big sad.
Mm-hmm. This was, talked about, and I have an answer for it, so I wanted to bring it up. But it was, whose best mustache? And it's the real Honeybear's mustache. So just thought I'd answer that for all you guys in case anybody was wondering. It is my mustache, is best mustache. Yeah,
we do have one in here. We obviously disagree. Combining the mustaches over here, they're just too OP. Pretty soon here, I'm actually going to be shaving off most of the beard and having just the mustache now that it's actually grown out.
Well,
for my
here we go.
My costume. It's gonna be great. But to pull this question that Crypto just asked, is Aegis planning on making a league for lower ranked players to get a feel for comp? The answer is yes. I actually am definitely wanting to push into that if the community will support it. I really want to run a diamond and below league and then shift everything up a little bit where I make it a challenger only league at the top, with no GMs, and have a GM master league that is in between the two. So basically it would be cutting off the bottom of AML and moving that in with basically anybody who wants to sign up. That is kind of like the plan moving forward, as long as people cover it. As in, like, support it. I mean, so like if there's enough people that sign up for it, then we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll probably have to go back to the current setup. Just depends on sign up.
Yeah, and actually, Lorence and I have been talking about this behind the scenes for a while now. Pretty much ever since I came on board, this was an idea that we really wanted to do that Lorence had before then. So really excited. You'll want to see what the future has for us and just kind of move forward from there. But yeah, I mean, especially seeing a lot of the newer players getting into TFT that want some competition. But especially the guys playing in the weeklies that can't really compete with these challenger and GM players, but still want to compete and still come out. We think that's awesome, and we want to make sure there's a good spot for you guys to play.
And then also to answer on, sorry, were you going to say something, CLE, or was that?
No.
Okay,
it's all good stuff.
Yeah. The following from Cryptos, some Rainbow Meowies. They're going to be an ultra high level tier 1. I think my thought on it is to not do that, because maybe there's a different way to do it, but if you've ever seen how Boyses runs his leagues, he has it where there's a promotion tournament essentially, And like the way that I do that is I think TFT is so volatile and people take breaks. They don't like a set. That it's too punishing to have something like that. It just feels like the right way of like, if you want to play this set, you're going to play this set. And having it like challenger only is like, that's like high level. Like these are people that are playing like you see Keen's, yeah, he got day one, but he's still competing in Dragon Cup. And that's big news. Like that, having that as like the league, and anybody can sign up anytime they want. If they don't want to play that set, they're not going to get punished for like not being able to make it to that super high like promotion.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's enough time in the set for it.
For sure. But with that, guys, that's going to kind of slide us into the end of the podcast, aka the outro. But everybody who's here, thank you so much for being here. I want to shout out a few things. So I did not shout out this at the start. But for the second week in a row, this podcast was sponsored by Lorence's Mustache. So thank you so much for the sponsor. Well done. It's been wonderful. CLE's Mustache as well, probably chipped in a little bit just to make sure this could happen. But guys, want to thank everybody in Twitch chat for hanging out with us. Anybody on the YouTube for listening to us. This is, I guess, the third episode, but it is one of the first videos we will be putting on our brand new YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check that out, make sure you do. We are, what is it? Oh my goodness, now I'm blanking on it. Aegis GG TFT, Aegis Esports TFT on the YouTubes. Go check it out. It's in the Discord. It'll be there. Or if Lorence is dropping in the chat, please do. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. CLE, do you got any shout outs you want to give before we slide out?
I mean, Cramsey, shout out. I'm just kidding. We're running with this. This is a thing.
This is it.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to you guys. I'm super thankful to have the opportunity to cast and get some experience under my belt. And you guys are great TOs, and Honeybear with the great first TFT cast. It was super fun doing that with you while you were producing. So
Everything.
Very impressive. So shout out to both of you.
For sure. Lorence, you want to shout out anything before we slide out?
I mean, this is kind of just becoming like a everyone here is awesome thing. But I really want to shout out both of you for making this happen. I really like being able to have casts and people like have content, right? Like that's like something that I really want to push forward here at Aegis, and being able to do casts like that is really special. So shout out to both of you for making that happen.
For sure. And we definitely, again, want to just thank everybody for showing up, everybody in the AML, ACL, and the weeklies for putting into your time, playing in our tournaments, playing in our leagues. Literally couldn't do it without you guys. So big shout out to everybody. Hopefully we can make them the best product out there, the best product we possibly can, and the best product in the TFT space. Just so you guys know, we will be having the Aegis Rolldown podcast every single Sunday from this point forward for the foreseeable future. We'll have special guests on whenever we can. Again, big shout out to CLE for dropping on, being the first guest. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Every Sunday, we will see you guys again next Sunday. These will be posted on YouTube whenever we can get to them afterwards. And again, thanks for watching. We'll see everybody next week. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. Peace out, everybody.